I'd like to call to order the school committee meeting of July 10th. You have before you an agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're going to start off with Diane O'Neill on the utilities report.
Yes.
Okay, so in your packets, you have the fuel oil comparison and the electric comparison, and the fuel oil is only for 4 fiscal years. That was when I started to track. And we actually broke it down per square foot, how much it costs per square foot to heat the buildings. I just want to explain a little bit why the prices are different. We pay on the day of delivery, and that's how the town bids out their fuel. So it is the day of delivery as it comes into Boston. That's the price we pay plus the operating expense that the bidder bids. So that's the price that we pay per gallon. So that's why the prices are a little bit fluctuating. They're not the same because we probably didn't take delivery at the elementary school the same day that we took it at the high school, middle school. The high school, middle school is one budget. It is not separate. So you'll see the budget information and the actual is next to it in dollars. And then you'll see per square foot. And of course, the new school, NIS, we use propane. So you'll see the first year of propane. And our budget was $50,000 and we actually spent $61,402. It's interesting. I find it interesting. It's just really helpful information for me during budget season. We all look at this. Martin's very helpful in all of it, and he and I look at it all the time. The next page is the electric bills, and the thing that I found really striking with this is look at the usage in the high school, middle school for FY17 and FY18. It's off by about 1,000 kilowatts. Really interesting.
Remarkably close.
And then the elementary school, and then again, you'll see the last column is the NIS, 94,000. We bid our budget was 85,000, and 572, 200 kilowatts for that year. That will be helpful next year when we do our budgets, and that's it.
If I may, it's really interesting to me because that first year we were taking a stab in the dark on those budget figures for propane and electric for the new building. This also helps us sort of focus the attention of custodians on conservation of electricity in particular and oil.
How we clean the buildings at night. So they'll focus on the middle school, and they'll shut the middle school wing down. I think we have it down to about 5 o'clock now.
Right.
It was 8 o'clock, and sort of getting, but it does save. It really does help us out.
Diane, what about the windmill? Does that contribute? Does that come into this?
And I didn't add it to this, but I do have that information. I can certainly give you this copy. So the windmill, I track the windmill. I call in readings every month to our contractor who sells the renewable energy credits. So renewable energy credits are sold to generation companies. So anyone generating electricity has to buy these credits or they get a fine. So it's always how expensive is it to buy the credits versus how much the fine's going to be. So they buy the credits. So we get a check. Is it monthly? Quarterly?
I believe.
Quarter, is it monthly? For these renewable energy credits. And then the windmill is hooked up behind the meter. So I always take his reading and I calculate out how much we actually saved behind the meter. How many kilowatts did we use that we didn't get charged for because we have the windmill running? So to date, this went online October of 2011. As of June 30th, we have saved $245,755.55 with the windmill, adding up how much we saved behind the meter and how much we got in checks. And I'm more than happy to send this out to anyone that wants to see it, but I do track it.
There used to be, wasn't there a renewable energy club?
I don't know. Was
It
it?
was.
Yeah,
We
it
did.
was.
Alex Perkins was one of the
Yeah.
students who was
Yeah,
integral, and there were others. I can't recall.
And the fuel doesn't have a total. Some of these were over budgeted. Some of them we ran over budget. Overall, was it a net gain or a net loss?
It goes fiscal year to fiscal year, so I don't know, like,
I think
you
you'll
have to
see a net
close out
gain.
fiscal year.
I mean,
so
it looks
I don't-
like, it looks
doesn't
like it
roll
should be a
forward.
gain.
Yeah.
Over the budget. That's not really a gain.
Right.
It's not a loss.
All set?
That's interesting.
Thank you, Diane.
Next order of business will be the Nantucket Golf Club Vocational Scholarship. Tom, do you want to come up and?
Yes, thank you very much. Always wanted to sit up here.
Be careful what you wish for.
Maybe. Just sit.
That seat can be yours.
So I have good news. And I think I'll just read the press release, if that's all right. That might be the easiest thing to do. So I'm here on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Nantucket Golf Club and the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, and we're pleased to announce a new vocational scholarship program for Nantucket High School students who seek to continue their education in vocational or trade studies. As the vocational programming that is offered at Nantucket High School continues to grow and expand, the foundation seizes an opportunity to support students who plan to continue their vocational studies beyond high school. This year's vocational scholarships are awarded to Brianna Falconer and Blaze Flagg. And please remain standing as I talk about you. Okay. Brianna plans to attend Johnson & Wales in the fall to study culinary arts, and Blaze will attend the New England Institute of Technology pursuing a welding certification. Since she entered Nantucket High School, Brianna has been talking about her dream of one day opening a bakery that will allow her to employ the homeless. She has taken classes throughout high school to ensure that she can achieve it. Brianna has completed Mr. Proch's culinary program over the last 2 years. He attests to her passion, saying she lives to give. He added that she is always interested in helping others and getting things done. Mr. Proch said she was an immediate joy in his classes from day one. Brianna participated in the rigorous Pro Start culinary competition, where her team placed second in the state her junior year. Brianna has worked meticulously toward her goals. She took a general repair and maintenance class with Mr. Gervin this year so that she will have the skills to maintain housing for her homeless employees. Very good, Brianna. Blaze has always enjoyed classes that allow him to work with his hands. After taking both general repair and introduction to automotive technology his sophomore year, he decided to continue with mechanics and took advanced automotive technology his junior year. Mr. Mulson, his auto teacher, says of Blaze, he consistently displayed a strong drive toward developing his mechanical skill set and was always polite and courteous. Mr. Mulson also noted, Blaze has the foresight to understand the need for experienced tradesmen on Nantucket. He has exhibited a strong work ethic and positive attitude. Blaze has the ability to work well with both peers and faculty. His school counselor, Mrs. Lepre, attests to the strength of Blaze's character and says he handles himself with grace and is best defined by his quiet confidence. Thank you, Blaze. In creating this new program, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation Board of Directors has decided to extend beyond its traditional annual grants, which go to 2 graduating seniors of full ride scholarships to major college institutions. With the introduction of this vocational scholarship program, we look forward to partnering with Nantucket Public Schools to inspire a segment of graduating seniors in the pursuit of careers via vocational and trade studies. So congratulations. And I'll reach out to Blaze, both you and Brianna, and we'll meet with your families and we'll talk about how we fund what you need to get done. So congratulations and thank you very much.
That's great. Well done, guys.
Can we bring them up here just to be
Please.
on
Get some-
television?
There you go. And Tom,
Yes.
thank you for bringing this in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The inquiries have come up about vocational.
Yes. Very, very.
Yeah.
My board feels very strongly about it, so.
It's great.
Congratulations, sir.
Definitely something we should attend to.
Good stuff.
It came up at the candidates night this year.
Yeah.
the question of increasing vocational. So this is great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tim, I'm going to just say something to that.
We'll be in touch. Absolutely.
So Mr. Brissette, I would just like to just thank you on behalf of us as well, because the golf club giving emphasis and focus to vocational programs is huge, especially for this island. And I think what you've just done and your board members have done tonight is monumental. So thank you very much.
Very excited.
Yeah, thank you.
Very excited. Congratulations.
Congratulations, yeah.
Has come up three different times.
I'm Henry.
The ELL PAC update will be deferred till next meeting.
I expect that the first meeting in August. Many of you know that Kelly Cooney, our ELL director, injured herself and is convalescing in Boston. So she couldn't be here this evening.
Okay. Moving on to committee discussions and votes to be taken. First, the vote to approve the ratified Facilities Union Collective Bargaining Agreement 2018 to 2021. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, a vote to approve the donation from Tom Fusaro to the Nantucket High School Activities Account for a wood shop program in the amount of $1,500. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
A vote to approve the donation from the Nantucket Conservation Foundation to the Nantucket High School Activities Account for NHS Library to purchase science-related materials in the amount of $300. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I interject?
Sure.
Mr. Chair, I just, I feel like the school district should recognize Jim Lentowski.
Yeah.
And his name is on here. He's retiring after serving the Conservation Foundation. And it's just an amazing run that he has had. And many times he's been in the building honoring or recognizing our students, and just didn't want the opportunity to pass without recognizing Jim. And thank you, Jim.
Well, I believe Mr. Lentowski was the head of the organization for 47 years.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I think he probably was meeting Tristram and
He's
at the
old.
boat.
Well, that's a good possibility.
A vote to approve the donation from the Community Foundation for Nantucket to the Cyrus Pierce Middle School gift account for Black History Month read-in on March 14th, 2018, in the amount of $250.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
A vote to approve the donation from the Nantucket AIDS Network, John J. Topham Jr., Spirit Trust to Nantucket High School Activities Account for the Gay Straight Alliance Club in the amount of $2,835.32.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, the June 19th meeting minutes.
I think we need to or should add one sentence at the end of the Rotary discussion. It goes on for about 2 pages. Because the last thing you asked was whether we had a consensus against it. It was unanimous. I don't think a consensus can be unanimous. It's one or the
It's
other.
a straw vote.
I would say that the school committee unanimously recommends against the Rotaries at Four Corners and Bartlett
Surfside.
Surfside.
So before you act on that,
Yep.
I understood as I sat there your unanimous feelings about Bartlett Road and Surfside, was it also unanimous against anything at Sparks?
I didn't think so. I'm not unanimously against that.
Okay.
Well,
I had
Sorry.
to ask that question
That's-
because,
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Is that-
well,
we were talking about it, and so many of our students cross that intersection as well. So
well, maybe I should clarify. Rotary, not so much. I think it should straighten it out to be four corners and not, jogged like it is. How's that?
I thought, I'll rephrase my motion if necessary, or the sentence that I'm recommending, that the school committee unanimously opposed rotaries at the locations of Four Corners
That would be more.
and Surfside
Yes.
Bartlett. I thought that's what I said the
Okay.
first time.
Can we have a motion to approve the amended minutes?
can I just make one other comment? And this is something I brought up before. Our approval of workshop minutes.
It should say meeting minutes.
Meeting minutes,
So we
yeah.
need that one little
Okay.
change. On page 4.
4 of 5.
Line 165. There was a meeting on June 5th, not a workshop. We had a s-
I didn't change anything from that, so probably just forget. There is
Line 165.
yeah, getting rid of the word workshop. Okay.
Can we have a motion to approve the amended minutes?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
I would be careful or you will be taking minutes.
No, look,
Steve,
I
I
don't
agree
know
with
if
that.
it's because I was a lawyer, but this is a town deal and
Yeah.
it needs to be in writing if anybody needs to refer to it.
Okay,
That's all.
I agree. Transfers and invoices.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hiring update.
Okay, the administrative team continues to be very busy on the hiring front. The elementary school has brought on board a new kindergarten teacher and a new two new first grade teachers since we last spoke, and a special education teacher as well. So we're feeling pretty good there. There are still some teacher assistants in all of the schools, actually. And there is one preschool teacher position that has yet to be filled, and they're interviewing candidates this week. The intermediate school, I think it's the same that I reported last time. Our ELL services, we have a teacher for that. We have and 2 fifth grade teachers. I'm not sure that everybody is aware that Karen Gottlieb asked and received a transfer from first grade to fifth grade. So she'll be joining that team. We are still looking for a part-time third grade Spanish teacher at this moment. And other than that, they are pretty well set at the high school. The middle school. We've hired a new ELL teacher, a new PE teacher, a new Chinese teacher, and a special educator. And we are in the process of looking, and I think I notified the school committee of this, of determining a librarian for the middle school. With the departure of Sherry as the TA, we thought this was the opportunity to hire a separate librarian for the middle school and high school. And I think much as we did with the nurse a couple of years ago, when Mrs. Roberts left, we hired 2, same sort of move, and I think it will better support the middle school and high school by making that move. So we don't have that candidate to announce yet, but I wanted to let you know and the public know that we were doing that.
Mike, does this report eliminate at least a couple of the listings that are in the online? I went and looked at the online Nantucket employment opportunities.
Yes, there will be a few things, but there's still several positions, still moving parts.
Yeah.
At the high school, we have hired a new PE teacher, a new guidance counselor, a new special education teacher, and we've expanded landscaping from point 2 to point 4. We are in the interview process with a testing coordinator slash innovative pathways position, combining that, and hope to be able to announce that in the next week. I believe that Dr. Bucky has also had some success in looking for a point 2 social studies teacher, although we're not prepared to announce that tonight, but it looks like he has a good candidate for that. And then district-wide, we have the special ed assistant director. We have our new technology director here, a speech language therapist, a bilingual support staff person, which was a new position in the budget, and we're excited about that. And elementary literacy coordinator, Donna Johnson, has asked for that transfer and has received that, so we'll be looking for a new assistant principal at the middle school. So we're making headway. We're not panicking yet, but I will be honest that housing remains a grave concern. And fortunately, I have to give Logan a lot of credit. She has connected a lot of new staff members to housing. So thank you, Logan.
Thank you, Logan.
She's a whiz at that. So that's hiring. The wellness update is sort of it's on this calendar, but it's also under the agenda for next meeting. And I'll just give you a quick update. What we've worked on is with the middle school, particularly Shelley Olson, to provide the focus of our work is in the health curriculum and how we can provide substance abuse education in each of the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. In the past, it has been at one grade level, and it's just been too important. We had a very good discussion, certainly following the incident this year, and we feel that they have to be cycling through a piece on that every year. So that change will take place, and that's the most significant piece on the wellness update. Evaluation update. I have some of you may remember when I came 8 years ago, the school committee emphasized for me that they wanted reports on teacher evaluation. And I think that was a different age, and it hadn't been done at that point. And so I remember that Helene Blair was particularly insistent that you get reports. And then somebody raised it again, so I'm going to share with you a rundown with no names, of course, but this gives you an idea. There are 4 standards upon which our teachers are evaluated, and under each standard there are a number of indicators, and then there are elements under each indicator. But this breaks it out so that you can see how many exemplaries, how many proficients in each of the 4 schools, and if there were needs improvement, rather than just seeing what the state gets, which is an overall proficient. I think this gives a little bit more information for you to look at and absorb. I know you're going to ask the question, so I'll answer. The not evaluated is a teacher who worked into November and then retired. And so she was not evaluated. And anticipating that question. So, there's more information here. Again, without names, I could break out into the elements, but I think that really is more information than you need. And some of this information is reflective of what we call formatives, and some of it is summatives. And I've put that information together. Credit goes to Sarah Erickson, who has worked feverishly the past 2 days on this to pull this information so that I could bring it to you tonight. And of course, if you want more information on teacher evaluation, you don't have to go any further than our website or the Department of Education website to see the teacher rubric, which really shows a lot more information in each of these categories.
Do any of these result in improvement plans?
Yes, they do. We don't have a lot, but I think in several schools, I think 3 of the 4 schools, I believe, have somebody that they're working with on an improvement plan. And quite frankly, I think that's what evaluation is all about. It's to help people improve their craft, whether it is teachers or administrators. And I've encouraged the administration not to be afraid to use needs improvement, because that helps focus people on the areas that they can improve. And often it does exactly that. We've seen that happen a couple of times now.
I think it also shows that you're helping the staff strive for success and not just accepting where they are.
So, there's that information, and I could probably do something similar on administrators' evaluation, but I think the teacher evaluation, what I want to give you confidence is that teacher evaluation is not only done, but it's an incredible amount of time that all of our administrators spend on this process, and they take it seriously, and they, I think, use it for what it was intended, which is improvement of instruction in
Yeah.
our district.
And I can confirm the amount of time spent by teachers and administrators. It's unbelievable. Personal observation, the amount of time that goes into it from both sides as far as that goes. And I know before the official state barrel of the gun evaluation process went into effect, I had been observed and evaluated once in 12 years. That doesn't happen anymore.
Okay. On the horizon, a couple of things will be moving from the July meeting. The EAP report, which is the Employee Assistance Program. I'm waiting for a report from Tess D'Alberti, and I will provide that for you at the August 1st meeting. And we will move the ELL PAC report to the August 1st meeting as well. In addition, probably the district and superintendent goals will move to the second August meeting. And those August dates should say the 7th and the 21st. They're not the 1st and the 15th. Please note that. And we do have the advanced placement results in. John has done a lot of work already, and I think he looks forward to sharing that with you at the first August meeting. There are some great results in there for the high school.
Good.
Really outstanding.
Mike, what about school handbooks?
We usually do that at the first meeting in August, and so that would be the goal for that.
Okay.
Okay. So we're keeping up on most things. I'll have the draft calendar for you as well at the August 7th meeting. You've seen a copy already, and I think we picked up one change in that today when we met. So we should have that ready for you. Okay. That's my report.
Subcommittee work group. Policy has been meeting.
Yeah, policy is still meeting. We met yesterday, meeting again in another week and a half, 2 weeks. We're finishing up.
Yeah, we've done a review all the way through L policies, and I think we're at the point where we have 2 or 3 odds and ends policies that have been recommended by MASC that we'll take a look at. But all of our existing policies, I think the one that we didn't finish was GBEBD, which is the crowdfunding.
Right.
But
To bring here for approval.
right.
Right. Other than that, though, we've gone through every policy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Steve?
It's exciting.
Awaiting fall for the beginning of the ESP negotiations? I mean,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
until staff, I don't even know, do those people work in the summer, some of them?
No, that will begin in the fall. We,
That's fine.
yeah, I think we were fortunate to get through 2 negotiations this year with the TAs and the custodians, so it's great.
Do we have a location for our retreat?
I do not yet.
Okay.
That retreat is scheduled for the 24th, based on,
At 4
and,
o'clock, right?
yeah. I'm actually looking at a couple of different spots, because I think it's healthy and helpful to be off the school campus for that
Okay.
retreat.
What's a name for you? Nantucket Inn.
How about Nantucket? I better not say it.
What's that?
No.
I'll say something after.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No?
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The mic's off yet?
It's coming up.